I really need to take a deep breath as we are going to talk about a very sensitive topic today. A topic that elders in our homes don't want to talk about. In church, the elders don't want to talk about, and they expect that the young people should get it right. Today we are talking about sex, and I know that some people might ask questions such as, isn't she a Christian? And if she claims to be a Christian, why openly talk about sex? I've got reasons, and many reasons, why we need to talk about this topic. I'll just share a few of my reasons. One of the answers I have is that yes, I am a Christian, and I'm a Christian who talk about sex because sex falls among beautiful things that God created for his children to enjoy. The other reason I feel we need to talk about sex today is because most Christian marriages suffer because of sex. And some marriages even die because there are sex issues. And some Christians live in a pornographic marriage because nobody talks to them about sex. They have questions and there's no one to answer them. They are only told that sex is a sacred thing. That is all they are told. How to make it pleasurable, no one goes there. You just know that it's something to be enjoyed, especially by two people who are married. But no one tells you how to enjoy it. So, having a quality sexual relationship is an integral part of having a quality romantic relationship. Meaning, you can have great intimate relationship or a great marriage, but poor sexual life. I want to give an example. A pastor friend of mine once shared with me that when he was a new pastor in a new parish, one night a couple came to his house and the woman was so furious. When they entered the house of the pastor, she started to storm. And she told the pastor how the husband is underperforming in bed. She complained about pre-ejaculation. She complained about him not knowing how to prepare her sexually. And this woman said to the pastor, I'm going into the car. I'm leaving my husband with you. You must tell him what men are expected to do in the bedroom. And after this, if we go home, he still underperform. He still get pre-ejaculation. He's still the only one who gets satisfied. Then he must know that we are going to have an open relationship. Open relationship means this woman will go out and have an affair and still married to the man. And that is why sex is one of the topics that we need to talk about, like today. All human beings, we own essential psychological needs. If you do not meet your psychological needs, you suffer. And sometimes you suffer severely. Psychologists have conducted studies And they found that there are a number of psychological needs that a human being need to meet in their lives. And they narrowed them into 4 fundamental needs. Every one of us has the need for security. We want to feel that we are protected. We want to feel that we are safe. It's a need. It's a psychological need. The other need, we have the need for good self-esteem. Self-esteem, I could say self-image, so that people can understand what we are talking about. It talks about the way you perceive yourself or the way you gauge yourself in life. The other need is the need to feel autonomous and independent. Every one of us want to feel they are independent, they are autonomous. And lastly, we have the need for connection or relationship. Just like we need food, we need protection, we need a place to stay, we need sleep to survive, we also need to satisfy our psychological need. And if we don't satisfy our psychological need, then we remain mentally unhealthy and unstable. To be happy, to be calm, to be stable, to be a balanced person, you need to meet all 4 of these needs. And you need to meet them regularly. As human beings, we have psychological and social strategies to meet these 4 needs. We meet them psychologically and socially. We are socialized how to meet them. We are talking about sex, and I'm talking about needs. I wanted to outline the needs so that we will understand that sex is not a need. There is a mistaken belief that sex is a need for men. And to women, sex is a form of love or intimacy or a duty. That is a misconception. Sex is a strategy people use to meet their psychological need. As I said, we have psychological and social strategies. So sex is a psychological strategy we use to meet our needs. Talking about sex, sex is fantastic, provided you have sex with the right person, provided you have picked the right partner. Sex is great. Sex is awesome. It enhances emotional attachment to your partner, which brings life satisfaction. The moment you are emotionally attached and connected, life becomes satisfying. Sex also improves emotional well-being. When we are emotionally well, we become better parents to our kids. No more unnecessary shouting. Sometimes these women shout because they are hungry. And when we constantly have sex, we become better colleagues. We don't easily take offense from a harmless joke because we come to work, we are happy, we are satisfied. Our psychological need has been met. We become better employees or better employers. There are no somatic symptoms There is nothing like today my fingers are painful, tomorrow is the waist, the other day is a headache. So when people get satisfied sexually, it is a good thing because it leads to less absenteeism from work. So indeed, sex is good, is great, is awesome. Sex also brings several health advantages. I'm not a medical doctor or practitioner. I'm a clinical psychologist. However, I will mention a few of health advantages of sex. Sex leads to lower blood pressure. It boosts immune level. When we constantly get sex, there is lower risk of heart attack or heart-related conditions. And the one that I'm going to mention, my fellow women out there, they will like to strangle me. I'm not encouraging anything, but I'm just going to state the truth. For men, sex lowers the risk of prostate cancer. And for men, I would like to advise that take this with caution, because frequent ejaculation tends to lead to weak men's sperms. If a man ejaculates frequently, then their sperm becomes weak. And ironically, the more sex you have, the less likely you are to conceive. And we know that too much of anything is not good. It's the same even with sex. The other health advantage of sex is that without sex, procreation of the human race will stop. So we need sex so that we can produce other human beings. I'm talking about sex with a reliable partner. I'm talking about safe sex. I'm not talking about sex that people buy in the streets. Otherwise, we know that when we go out and buy out there, what shall follow that pleasurable moment? We know what happens when we don't have safe sex. The risk of sexual transmitted infection is high out there. And men with a history of sexually transmitted infections stand a chance of prostate cancer. So it counts. Who do you do sex with? The mental and the spiritual benefit of sex is that it makes us happier and healthier people. Hence I said, when we go to work, we're not gonna turn small jokes into a big mountain. We'll understand that our colleagues are joking. We'll love our work. We'll be energetic. So sex, mentally and spiritually, keep us happier and healthy. And when a psychological need goes unmet for a longer period of time, it will absolutely mess you up. It will mess you up physically, mentally, and spiritually. Then, to show that you are messed up, one of the signs could be that people develop addictions. It could be addiction to masturbation. I sometimes help people who say, I masturbate more than 5 times in a day. Addiction to watching pornography. And all these are ways of self-sexual gratification. Sex is a mental and spiritual need because it brings the two souls together. Two people are coming together. Two souls are coming together. It brings connection of two people, and sex enhances their relationship. We must understand that when one of our psychological needs is repeatedly not met, it brings imbalance in our lives as people. Research also shows that lack of connection is more harmful than alcoholism. Just not to be connected with people, it is more harmful, more than being an alcoholic. So lack of intimacy may result into stress or even depression, and also may result to all sorts of terrible physical issues. There are different perceptions between men and women in relation to sex. To some women, not all women, to some women, sex is a way to secure future. They use sex so that they secure a better future instead of a way to seek out their need for connection. We should seek sex because we need connection, not because we need security. Men, on the other hand, have used their sex life as a status symbol with other men. A man who sleeps with a lot of women, to some people, is seen as a more successful man. Therefore, some men have been conditioned to use sex to fulfill their need for self-esteem. To them, the more they sleep with women, the more they are successful, the more people regard them. And since men and women usually use sex to satisfy different psychological needs, they fail to understand each other, and they tend to criticize each other for not meeting the need they want to be met, because their intentions are different. They come hoping they will meet something else. And men think women use sex to cling to them because women are insecure, according to men. Men also think women use sex to manipulate them, whereas women think men are being insecure and desperate for sex. We shall continue with this topic because I also meet a lot of people who are not satisfied with their bedroom life. And most often, out of 100%, in 95%, women are the ones who are concerned that their partners are not satisfying them in the bedroom. Women are the ones who are saying, I even have an affair. I satisfy myself out there and I come back to do a duty. So the sex they have in their house is now a duty because they are in marriage. They are not enjoying at all. So to me, it means we need to go deeper into what should happen, or in an ideal sexual process. When do we start to have sex? When do we start to prepare each other? How do we prepare each other? We are going to go in deeper when we go into the next session of Sex Part 2. And before I close today, my advice is that strive to meet other psychological needs in your life first. And after you have met them, then you can pursue sex from a place of abundance and a place of power, and not from a place of neediness and a place of desperation. I will see you when we talk sex part 2 and going deeper into the process of sexual intercourse. Stay blessed.